Welcome back to Swoon Worthy, the podcast where we dive into all things period drama. If you listened to our Bridgerton Season 4 Part 1 episode, you know that we had a lot of feelings, theories, and swoon-worthy scenes to work out. Today we're picking up right where that conversation left off, with Season 4 Part 2. We finished Benedict and Sophie's love story, and we have so much to discuss. From the emotional speeches and grand gestures to the returning characters, stirring scenes, and plot resolutions that made us gasp, melt, or blush. We're diving into it all. And of course, we're also looking ahead. Now that season 4 is wrapped, we can't help making predictions for season 5. Which Bridgerton will we focus on next, and where this world might take us? I'm joined once again by my co-hosts and friends, Sunny and Stephanie. Hello, thank you for coming back to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
So excited.
And I have to ask, now that we've seen the full arc, how are we feeling about Benedict and Sophie's story? Steph, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I loved this season and I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the full arc, the full Cinderella story that we got. I really think this is probably my favorite season. It's kind of hard to remember everything about season two, but I know obviously we love season two as well. But yeah, I really loved Sophie. Yarenha was such a great addition to the show. Benedict, I really adore him, even though I wanted to slap him a couple of times in this season.
Sure.
But yeah, it was lovely.
It was. Sunny, do you agree?
Totally. I feel like season 4 was the first season of Bridgerton that to me truly felt like a fairy tale. Like it delivered on everything you'd want from a romance, from the drama to the happily ever after. And I also feel like this is the first season of Bridgerton where all the characters, including the side characters, really feel like they know themselves, like they are like real people that we are familiar with and happy to see again and again. And you can even see it in the costuming, sort of like each of the Bridgerton siblings. I feel like their costume silhouettes this season were so distinct, and that was like a fun thing to see develop as the episodes went on. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with how it went. I'm so happy for Yerin Ha. I'm so glad that her performance was so well received by critics and by the fans. Yeah. What did you think, Carly?
I'm with both of you. I loved it. I love the enthusiasm that I'm hearing from other people, other fans of Bridgerton. Not a lot of negativity going around, which is great. We've had some of that in prior seasons. And everyone just feels like as you said, at home with their characters. I think it was very balanced this season with the main love story and then the side stories. So it was easier to follow. Everything flowed together. I just couldn't have been happier with season 4. So yeah, I'm with you both. We are going to break down some of the major scenes, our favorite scenes. We're going to talk about our favorite costumes, but I do also want to talk about a big reveal at the end of this season. You know, Penelope, as Lady Whistledown, she decided to pull back. She wants to explore new writing, which is a really cool thing for her. And then right at the end, a new Whistledown emerged. And I thought it would be fun at the top of this episode to ask you both if you have any theories who this new Whistledown is. And then later, when we talk about the scenes, maybe it'll be like, oh, yeah, that's why I think it's so and so. Sunny, do you have any theories?
I do. Okay, so I think the new Lady Whistledown is Hyacinth, the youngest Bridgerton sibling.
Ooh.
Um, and the reason I think it's her is because just from like a storytelling TV angle, because she's the youngest Bridgerton sibling, her season will probably be last. And also because she's the youngest Bridgerton sister, I'm guessing that Netflix will want to wrap up the series with a heroine. And I think it would be a fun reveal for it to be our main character in the last season of Bridgerton ever. And there was one moment in part two that made me think, oh my gosh, I actually do think it might be Hyacinth. So we can get into that when we cover that scene
Ooh.
maybe. But yes, I think it's Hyacinth. What about you guys? What do you guys
Ooh.
think?
I think that's very solid. What if it was Gregory? That'd be so funny because he's staying home from school.
Yeah.
That just made me think. But yeah, what I would love it if it was a man. I just think that would be
What about the
hilarious.
two of them together?
Oh my
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah.
gosh.
Conspiring.
Are
Ooh.
you thinking Gossip Girl Dan Humphrey, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Maybe in the back of my mind, that's where that's coming from. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would love for it to be like a downstairs a person, like a staff
Mm.
member. I think
Yeah.
that would be like just so cool if they were somehow able to like publish and make money off of this, like Penelope did. But I don't think it is someone like that. I think it is probably someone within like our central family. So I think Hyacinth is a really good guess. What do you think, Carly?
So, kind of what you said about someone from a different class or a different sphere, I'm thinking Virginia was the mistress to Mr. Hiscox, who came to Penelope and was like, I was saving up for my independence, and you ruined this for me. So maybe that's her kind of like, revenge thing to Penelope slash
Mm.
she needs the money, and that why else would they have that one scene with her? Anyways, that's my theory.
Ooh, yeah. What if
Mm.
Penelope with her somehow? She like went to
Hmm.
her and said, "Here's what I'm doing. I'm letting go of this."
Yes, because she
And
felt guilty about that a bit. Oh, I like that
Oh my gosh.
too.
That's
ooh.
so true. Yeah.
But she's not even telling her husband. Hmm.
Yeah, we need to go back and watch the scene where he comes to her and be
Mhm.
like, Penelope, do
Yeah.
you know about this?"
He was like, "Who the devil is this?"
Guys, what if it's Colin?
I know, yeah. Like the most bland person who doesn't pay attention to anything.
He's like, it's my turn now.
Oh my gosh. Too funny. You know what? Did he in the book series, he may have been he's a writer in the book in his book. Yes. Hmm.
Oh yeah, because I remember in their season, she was like reading what he wrote.
Yes, and they just
Mm-hmm.
totally didn't ever mention that again. Okay, we are
It's
coming up.
Colin.
Oh my gosh, we are coming up with some good theories. Could it be Brimsley? He's trying to make his queen happy. Could it be Alice trying to make the queen happy? Could it be Cressida giving it one more go, even though that failed before? Eloise, Violet trying to just do something unique. I mean, there's so many options here, so time will tell. Now that we have that out of the way, let's start talking about some of our favorite scenes from this part two, starting with episode 5, which was interestingly called Yes or No. And they remind us right up front about that be my mistress proposition. You even see Sophie sitting in the tavern pondering what just happened in the stairwell. Of course, she never got her coin purse, so maybe she borrowed some money from her friends. Fans were always like, she never got her coin purse. And then we start to learn that Benedict is still thinking he has a shot with this mistress proposition. He's still sending her little notes, I'm awaiting your answer. Can we meet? Did you all think that was surprising? I thought she gave him a very definitive answer in the stairwell, right?
Yeah, it just kind of shows, I guess, how men maybe don't pick up on clues or obvious no's.
Hmm.
um, yeah, it was interesting to see that he was still considering it and still waiting for an answer. It's kind of baffling.
Yeah, it's just so funny. He's so clueless, bless him. I mean, you would think from the look that Sophie gave him before leaving him on the stairwell that what she was thinking was pretty obvious, but boys are just boys, you know?
Then we have another shot soon after of Marcus and Violet in bed together because that was a huge moment from part one was the fact that, what was it? I'm the tea you will be having. And now it seems like they've been carrying it on. They're having some fun together, and it's great to see that.
I just wrote hot in my notes.
Yes. I mean, he has been just such a sturdy, supportive figure to her, and then letting her be free and wild and yeah, feel sexy again. It's been a great couple to watch.
Yes, we're happy for Violet for sure.
Yes. Then they gave us an Alfie scene, which we desperately needed. We have been hoping for more Alfie. He gives us all that we wanted, the she-devil, the Sophie. I'm sure Steph, you can do a Sophie impression really good.
Sophie.
And this is also an opportunity for Sophie to give us a little recap as well. Like it kind of works in the storyline. She's telling Alfie what happened, but then she very quickly reminds us of everything, the My Cottage scenes and the kisses and all of that. And then he asked me to be something, and then he's like, "Good God, is what?" I love that. He's a great actor. He's really fun.
He's so funny. I really love all of his scenes.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's adorable. We need more of him. Can we get a season about him?
A spinoff, yes, I think so. I think so. Even if it was like, shorter little episodes or something, a day in the life of Alfie. I don't know.
Yes, please.
And he even says, am I wrong to imagine that would please you as well? It would certainly please me. What's so terrible about it? And then we just are reminded again, she's just always thinking about her past, and she's the daughter of a maid and a lord, and rightly so that she feels that all the time. I mean, that's just very true to her character, and she can't go with this idea of Benedict's. No. Benedict, he's just troubled. He's confiding in Mr. Mondrich. I love it when he was just like, Alice is at the palace. Like he's just being kind of cute,
Yeah.
fun, Benedict, right? Mr. Mondrich comes through with some solid advice. No woman or man truly desires to be hidden. And I have to say, previous seasons, I haven't loved Alice and Will. This season, I feel like they're settling in as well. Like they're there to be friendly and be companions and give good advice when needed, but they're not like, there's no forced storylines from them.
Totally.
Yeah.
And also, can I just say, Alice in the Lady in Waiting getup, she looks stunning. I loved that costume on her. I thought she looked beautiful.
She does look so
Those
pretty.
wigs, the wigs are so pretty for the ladies in waiting. Like, there's some
Agree.
great wigs in the show.
There really are. Yeah. It kind of reminds me at the end of the Beauty and the Beast live action, I feel like they wore they wore a lot of the white with the powdered wig. I don't know. It just reminded me of that.
That's
I
so
was
true.
I was in a regional theater production and I was one of the silverware. And so at the end of it, we come to life and we were wearing powdered wigs, but they did not look
Yay.
like those.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
But yeah, it's kind of fun to think about like the costumes and like the fairy tale,
Mhm.
sort of way. But I'm glad you brought up the Mondriches because I think in our previous episode, I was kind of like, wait, what's their deal? I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't know like where they were going, but we see their purpose in this part
Hmm.
of season 4, and I really loved that. And yeah, I loved the no person desires to be hidden. I thought that was very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he gives, encourages Benedict to go to Sophie and maybe just be honest with her. Society's not going to let them be together. So this was his idea. It's not ideal. And how can a woman trust you to live a complicated life with her if you cannot even navigate her feelings? I mean, this is sound advice. And yeah, I love that. At the end of part one, we saw Michaela show up at Francesca and John's door uninvited. And now we're seeing how she's staying with them. We're seeing a really lively, free-spirited side to John. He's laughing more than we usually see him. But then Francesca, she's a little grumpy. She's not getting her sleep. It's 4 a.m. And I think she's just kind of, well, we know she's kind of bothered by Michaela for other reasons that are buried down deep. But on the other hand, I want, a guest showing up at your door when you're trying to have a routine. I think it's mentioned with your husband. I mean, it's kind of a hindrance. So I don't totally blame her for being grumpy, but it's so nice at the on the other side to see John and Michaela laughing, being cute cousins together. What do we think about these three characters starting out here in part two?
Yeah, I think it's such a relatable sort of situation to be in, right? Three is an odd number.
Mhm.
It can be uncomfortable sometimes. And I think when you have like an established relationship, or even if you're trying to like build a new relationship, having somebody else there can like kind of rock that up a little bit.
Mhm.
So I do feel for Fran, but I also feel for Michaela for that exact same reason, because I'm sure both of them feel like a certain level of jealousy towards the other. Like, you know, John was their person, and now he's being, it's like a game of like tug and war, like who's gonna get more of his time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I like to see their dynamic, and yeah, I want to see more. Well, oh my gosh, I was gonna say I want to see more of them, but
Oh no.
Oh,
Mm,
we
it's
do
yeah.
get to see some of them, some more of them. But
Yeah, of
yeah.
course. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that whole thing. And one note is that the trailer that was released for part two, eagle-eyed fans were noticing Francesca in black in mourning in the trailer. So we already were thinking like, okay, this isn't great. We knew someone was gonna die, but there was the chance that it was gonna be perhaps King George or something. And but no, this we kind of knew this was coming, and it's just when you know that's happening, it's so sad watching these scenes. Ugh.
I will say about this trio, and especially Francesca and Michaela, I find their dynamic a little bit confusing. And as someone who hasn't read the books, I just didn't quite understand it. I wrote this especially for episode 6 because I think
Yeah.
their dynamic changes. And so I just kind of I didn't get it. I didn't really get flirtation out of it
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
which I think is where it's, supposed to be headed. But I don't know. Their dynamic was just kind of strange to me as someone who doesn't know the story. I wanted more from it, I think. And
Hmm.
I don't know what more I wanted, but it just I don't know. It left me kind of puzzled.
That's totally fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that's
it's fair.
good.
And just thinking ahead, I feel like by the end of this part two, so I guess the last episode, episode 8 of season 4, there's a moment where it kind of clicked for me that they're finally kind of on track with the book.
Hmm.
So I'll speak to that in a little bit too. But no, it's very fair. I think fans haven't been totally buying this arc yet, but it's getting there. I guess it's stewing.
Yeah. It's just like her introduction was kind of we didn't really get to
Yeah.
know her at all, Michaela. I mean, and
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It's just odd, but I want to get to know her. I like her, of course. I just,
Yeah.
yeah, just didn't know what to think.
Fair enough. Yeah, and Sophie is working for the Bridgertons now. So she's involved in a lot of the scenes. She's always just kind of there. Lady Bridgerton and Sophie speak a bit. We know that Sophie's trying to leave. Honestly, some of the scenes they kind of get mixed up in my head because there are just a lot of scenes where the two of them are talking. We know Lady Bridgerton is trying to figure out what's the deal with Sophie. She's educated. She can speak languages, she speaks properly, she knows things higher than her station. So what is she doing there? She tries to catch her in a lie about the Aylesbury owls, which we learn is actually famous for its ducks. So she's piecing things together. I love the Mrs. Wilson interactions with Lady Bridgerton. They're kind of they've been really great companions throughout the past, few episodes where Mrs. Wilson helps arrange the evening tea for Lord Marcus and Violet. So now she's even asking her help to find out more about Sophie. I feel like Miss Wilson is very Mrs. Hughes from Downton Abbey.
Yeah, definitely. She's very reliable. She knows the house, she knows the people. She's down to get some gossip.
Hmm.
I loved it.
Yeah, she's great. Of all the servants throughout the past 4 seasons of Bridgerton, Varley has been the standout to me. Obviously we got to know more of him this season, But love Varley as a character. She, oh my gosh, she was treated so poorly by Lady Featherington last season. She left. Now she's with the Dowager Lady Penwood and helping set up their new London home because we learned that Lord Penwood passed away. They had to determine the new heir, and the new heir is moving into their old house. You know, this happens a lot we see this in Sense and Sensibility with the Dashwoods. I mean, this is always happening where the the widow and their daughters are relocated because the new heir has to take over the estate. And we also learned that Araminta is not letting go of the shoe clips, the missing shoe clips. So, you know, there's just a lot going on here with trying to find out Sophie's identity and where she is.
Whatever a shoe clip is, we still don't know.
That's so true. I wish they would just like show us like
Yeah, clip it on a shoe. I need to know.
Yeah, how does it work?
oh my gosh, that's so true. I mean, apparently Araminta has like 36 pairs, so why can't we just see it?
And she has time to count them. So, like, what are they?
I love that stuff. I'm so with you. Oh my gosh. And oh, I do love the scene when Benedict kind of appears in the street. Eloise, Francesca, and Sophie are walking down the street, and Benedict is just there. He came up with his ruse for Eloise to buy a feather for Hyacinth and just gets them away so that that he can talk to Sophie. And this is so rom-com. I just love it.
I did laugh, like just seeing his little face on the other side of the street. I was like, oh, he's there. He's watching.
The sisters, like, they just didn't suspect anything. They're just like, oh, okay, you want to talk to the maid? And they like walk off to the
I
store.
know.
It's just like,
They are
what?
so oblivious.
So oblivious. And then Eloise comes back very proudly with her feather. I chose the first feather I found. And Sophie's like, good, it's pretty. And she's like so pleased with herself. I just thought that was really funny. The ostrich feather. But, you know, while they're away, Benedict and Sophie talk, and he's just kind of like trying to get her to maybe say yes to his proposition. So then, kind of what we were talking about earlier, this is the scene where Virginia, Hiscox's mistress, goes to speak to Penelope, asks her to write again to help her because Penelope has ruined her reputation. Speculation was one thing, but writing about it is different. And she does say like she was trying to save up to be independent. Uh, yeah, and she is well spoken. She's an actress. I don't know. This is just a theory that she could be the new Lady Whistledown, as we talked about earlier. But otherwise, I feel like the scene was just kind of like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's helping to, I guess, show that Penelope is affected by all of this. Like, she's starting to feel guilt.
Hmm.
So I think that's what I thought.
I see. Okay, let's go back to Sophie a little bit. She creeps into Benedict's study and sees the faceless painting of the woman in silver and his sketches on the desk. And then he comes in and she asks, who is this woman to you? And he explains, you know, oh, I met her at a party once, but she doesn't matter to me now. You're the one that I want. And it's a very sweet scene. I want to say though, there are similar to the Sophie Violet scenes that where they're talking, there are a lot of scenes where they're just in the study talking and kind of like I feel like they're saying the same thing over and over again, like, I love you. Oh, I love you too, but I can't let that ruin my reputation. I can't do this. I'm a respected maid. You know, like, do you feel like they were kind of moving in circles a little bit here?
No, I totally get what you mean. There are a lot of like confrontation scenes in studies this
Yeah.
season. I do like this scene though because I think it gives us insight into exactly why Sophie is kind of offended by Benedict's question when she asks, why do you find it suitable to kiss me? Because remember, he didn't kiss the lady in silver. He was very
Ooh.
respectful, didn't dare, compromise her honor or whatever, didn't go in for a kiss on the lips. But because she's a maid, I think for her, she realizes like Benedict sees me as a person that maybe isn't worthy of that level of respect that he showed her alter ego, who's the lady in silver. And I think that like hurts her a little bit because he doesn't value her maybe the same way he would a noble woman. So I think that was that's how that scene read to me. And I did appreciate it just because I felt like she was standing her ground a little bit
Hmm.
more and like and showing us specifically why. Because yeah, like we're us as the audience, we're like Alfie, right? We're like, well, why wouldn't you want this? Sounds like sounds like a great time, you know? But obviously to Sophie, it means something different, I think.
I hadn't thought about that. I'm glad you brought that up, Sunny. Yeah,
That's such a good point, and I really liked that too. I thought the dialogue between them was really good. The dialogue between them is always good, but
it is.
yes, there
Yeah.
are a lot of these moments that kind of are, I guess, a little repetitive. The will they, won't they, and what's
Hmm.
keeping them apart and whatnot. And when they do finally say "I love you" in the study, I think it's in the study. Um, I didn't like feel like a huge impact from it necessarily. I still think
Mm.
it was very well acted, but I don't know if it's just like these stories, they're so drawn out.
Steph, I
And
actually have to agree with you there, like totally. The I love you from Sophie didn't hit as hard as I wanted it to because it was just like such a familiar familiar scene, a familiar rhythm.
yeah,
Hmm.
okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was like, am I heartless or like, you never know when you're like, do I not feel? But yeah, it was very well acted though. I like their dynamic and the way that they work together in these scenes for sure.
Uh-huh. No, their acting is spot on. So, but I think we're all in agreement there that we just yeah, you can say I love you, but it really sometimes you need a grand gesture, which we will see. And all along, all this time, of course, Varley and Miss Wilson, they're trying to understand who Sophie is. And there's scenes at the market where they're kind of figuring things out. I do love a really random scene where the Featherington husbands are there with Gregory and Colin eating cheese. Do you remember that? It's so random.
Liam walked in during that scene and he was like, "Oh, are they married?" Like the two Featherington husbands.
I mean, yeah, they
We're not
might
there
as
yet.
well. But their wives don't really know where to do how to do anything in bed, so they might as well be.
Yeah, I just love their dynamic. It's just cute that they're all besties.
That is cute. Yeah, no, I just thought that scene was really kind of fun. Uh, and they're giving Gregory advice on courting ladies at Hyacinth's recital. And Colin's trying to give some advice too. You cannot let any amount of fear stop you from letting your heart speak. And I think Benedict, all through this season, you see him like getting advice from his brothers, his friends, his mother, and you always see his face and he's thinking it over in his head how it applies to his story. And I think that's kind of fun to catch. Violet tells Gregory and Hyacinth that her friend will be coming, and they are so unbothered. I thought that was really funny. They're like, yeah, lemonade. What were we talking about before this? And Hyacinth mentions Daphne, who said, a guy who likes a girl will fetch her lemonade. And that reminded me of season one. I love all of the callbacks to previous seasons. Fans just want Daphne back in Bridgerton.
Yes.
Oh, have you been picking up on that on social media?
Yes, and I am one of those fans. I saw like a little, it was like a meme graphic thing that somebody on Instagram had put together, and it was like a screenshot of each of the Bridgerton sisters like during their like lowest moments this season, and the caption was, "They all needed their big sister," and I was like, "Oh no, that's so
Oh,
true. They did."
oh my gosh. Recently, there was a picture posted of all of the Bridgertons, and she was just missing. And it's like, this is so
Ah,
sad.
that
So
is
sad.
sad. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder what the tea is with that. If there is any tea, I'm not saying that there is or anything, but why doesn't Phoebe Dynevor come back? I
I think
would,
it's miscommunication. I think it's just a mix-up because I've heard that she is waiting for the call, and I've heard that they don't want to recast and that they would love to have her. So I feel like there's just like wires crossed.
come on, guys, get it together.
Oh no.
I know they're not going to recast. Like some people were also saying, like, okay, if Phoebe Jennifer can't make it, like recast. You did that with Francesca, but Jess Bernal was like, no, we're not recasting. That would be really disrespectful to them. And I agree with that. Also, Regé Jean Page. recently followed the newer Bridgerton cast members on social media, and people are reading into that as well.
Oh my gosh.
No, he's in a new rom-com, that Italy one with Halle
Yes.
Berry.
Mhm.
No, Halle Bailey.
Yep, The Little Mermaid.
Well, yes, Ariel. So it's like, okay, you're not ditching the rom-com vibes. You're not trying to like find these really meaty, serious roles. So please come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did read, just because I was so curious about them, I did read, or rather, I Googled why did Regé-Jean Page leave Bridgerton? And I don't know if this was like actually confirmed by him or not, but sources say that he felt really uncomfortable with the amount of like with how much his character of Simon was sexualized in season after season one, because it was like it was revolutionary in the sense of like the steamy scenes and this like Regency drama, and he didn't want to be pigeonholed into this sort of like very,
Yeah,
very sexy role. Um, which I get. Maybe it was uncomfortable for him to like to a certain extent because of how ravenous Bridgerton fans can be.
true.
Um, but yeah, oh my gosh, it would be so awesome if they came back.
Has he looked in a mirror lately, though? I
Yeah.
mean, like, I mean, it's who he is. But yeah, I mean, I do get it. Like the fans are probably a lot. They can be a lot, so it's
Yeah.
understandable to not want to like be part of this crazy universe and want to branch out.
I think he was hoping to be James Bond.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, maybe he was holding out for that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
maybe
I was just gonna say, I wonder if he like didn't realize how big Bridgerton would become and like how, again, ravenous and rabid the fans would
Yeah,
be, and it was just kind of like overwhelming for him. Um, yeah.
yeah, understandable.
truly. Yeah. And we did get Phoebe Denver back for season two, and I loved her scene. So I feel like there's more of a chance of getting her back than him, but we'll see. We shall see. And let's talk about this recital. So we have the young Regency crowd getting together. This takes me back to seventh grade social dancing. Did either of you partake in this?
No, girl, I was poor. We didn't do that.
Oh my gosh.
We had a form of this in middle school. It was called cotillion, and all the girls had to wear like forearm length white gloves. Like that was like a requirement. And it was just so funny and so cringy and like I hate to think about it, but also it happened.
That's the thing. It's like your most awkward time of your life and you're getting together. But I do remember there was a part of me that was like, because I think I loved period dramas at an early age. Like I watched Jane Austen movies all the time, even then, and I was like, oh, this feels like I'm in a Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, I love that.
But
That's
anyways,
cute.
and Gregory, Gregory's being cute. He likes a Miss Rochelle. I think I may be in love, he says to Colin. And cute little Hyacinth asks Lord Kent, or Nicky, as the Mondriches call him, to dance with her. And then she ends up, they switch partners, a bit, and ends up with this really tall guy who doesn't get her lemonade. But this, we got to talk about this dance, The Long Ways. And it was the song by Charlie XCX 360. There's a lot of hopping. There's a lot of hopping and jumping.
Yes. If only you were on TikTok, Carly, because this dance is all over TikTok and the song as well. And it's been so fun to like see what people are coming up with like people are doing this dance all around their house,
Oh,
like
that's
at
so
work.
funny.
It's really cute. It's the song, it gets stuck in your head. It
Hmm.
really does.
I watch every single one that pops up on my feed. Like every like trend stitch to this song, I watch it because they're all so funny. My favorite
Mhm.
one was, I think you guys both saw this one. The song was placed with a clip from the 1995 Pride and Prejudice. Mr. Collins does a very similar dance in that one, and it just like the timing was like so perfect. And oh my gosh, yeah, I love all these
Yeah.
videos.
He ate. He was so good and with that little
Oh,
dance. He's so like poised and
oh yes, the high
light on his
knee.
feet. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so fun. And then we see Benedict kind of sneaking over to Sophie. Sophie, of course, being the true maid that she is. Mr. Bridgerton, do you need something? He's like, no, I found it. He's trying to be so smooth, and it's, you know, you feel like she is probably caving a little bit. And I also like when Benedict dances with Hyacinth to the Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, which was a very good like sibling song to dance to. Like it wasn't weird. That's such a cute one. Sophie's looking on. She's like, she can see that she sees Benedict for being a family person, the family person that he is. He's always been a great brother to the Bridgerton siblings. Season 3, he was playing cards with Hyacinth and Gregory. There's always the swing scenes with Eloise, and then later in the season we'll talk about that piano scene with Francesca. So, yeah.
We also start to see that Violet, she knows what's going on. She has an idea, right? This is where we start to
Mm,
realize, oh, she's been watching and she knows what all her children are doing, including Benedict, which I loved. I was like, she's such a good mom. She's
Ugh,
kind of, I guess, she has a lot going on. And then maybe she's a little absent sometimes, but like she knows those kids.
she does. She's the best. She's the greatest choice to play Lady Bridgerton. She's just, ugh, I love her.
yeah, and I do love their confrontation on the stairs. I mean, it's the first time we see Benedict act kind of like out of character. He's so sharp with his mother, which we've never seen before. But I really love that Lady Violet, she comes at it from an angle of like defending Sophie. Like she's not I feel like there's like this thing that goes around about like boy moms and how like boy moms like enable their sons to do like problematic things. And she's just so not that. She's like, leave her alone, please. Like I taught you better than that. And I just love her for it.
Yeah,
Such a
that's
good
such a good
point.
point. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a girl's girl for sure. She's like
Yeah.
looking out for Sophie the whole way through. It's really cool.
love that. And she knows Benedict and his, wild ways at the very beginning of season 4. She catches him in bed with two women. So, yeah, it's great that she is protecting Sophie. Of course, she doesn't know that Benedict has fallen hard for Sophie. She will learn that. But back to what you were saying, Violet observes them and she's like, don't, whatever's going on between the two of you, it must stop. It's inappropriate. They go into the room together upstairs. Alice Mondrich sees it. But yeah, they have a moment in the bedroom when I mean, I didn't expect this to go so steamy in this first episode of part 2. Did you anticipate this? Oh my God.
There was a preview for episode 5 um, at the Netflix house in Philly, and people were posting spoilers about that on Reddit, and nobody would post exactly what happened because I think they weren't allowed to, but everyone was posting like chili pepper emojis, like spicy emojis. So I knew something was going to happen.
Ooh,
Yeah, I had
yeah.
heard, I mean, they were talking about filming intimate scenes so much, and I was like, well, what's it gonna be like? Where, when's this happening? And I was like, oh, okay, so we're just doing it all right now.
It's happening now.
I feel like this is more reminiscent of season 1 than we've gotten in season 2 and season 3. Like this feels more like that level of, sexy scenes.
Yeah, they're better though.
Yeah, I mean, they have evident chemistry on screen and off
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
And so it just, works. And leading up to them getting in bed together, he does say, I love you. This might have been what you were talking about, Steph, earlier. But actually, my favorite is now on social media. There's the meme of him saying, "I love you, Sophie." She says, "You cannot." And then it just says ISTG. Because a lot of people on social media probably know that poor Luke Thompson, mistakenly thought ISTG was first he thought it was just Istaga. Then he thought it was Instagram. And then finally, in the third interview, he learns that it means I swear to God. I would have been right alongside him probably, but it's great.
Yeah, everyone's commenting like blah 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 Instagram, blah 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 Instagram on like everything that involves him. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. And that could not have been a planned, publicity thing. Like that was just true Luke Thompson just being adorable in an interview and it's just fun.
And also the age difference between him and Yaren, like she can really make fun of him because she's, totally from a different technology standpoint here. So that's really funny too.
Yes. They're so cute in all the interviews. I'm gonna miss that. Like, oh, I'm gonna miss their
Yeah,
interviews.
I
Yeah.
know, me too. I saw somebody on Instagram say like, guys, I'm like starved for content. It's only been like a week without them and I miss them already.
Yeah. Her her breathless laugh, I think someone mentioned or called it, like where she just goes hardcore laughing and I love her.
Me too.
They're
Yeah, I
both
do
Yeah, she's so
too.
cute.
they're both so cute. Oh. Yeah, I think he does explain his mistress case in a better way in this scene too. Like, you are not that kite in my study. You are the person I've been searching for all my life. Yeah. Then they get together. I think they like, clear some stuff off the table at one point. That part caught me off guard. Like, whoa. And yeah, there we go. That's how episode 5 ends. And that's a song called Lose Control by Teddy Swims. Episode 2, The Passing Winter. Sophie and Benedict wake up in bed together. The light comes through the windows very suddenly, not gradually, just a little thing to notice. It's just like, bam, it's morning. It's almost 5, we learned, and he's really just showing his little entitled Benedict self, like, oh, you don't need to be a maid anymore. You don't come back to bed. And she's like, no, I have a job. And she starts to freak out, rightly so, of course, that she may be with child. There are a lot of scenes of her marking little X's on her little calendar. Poor thing. It's got to be stressful, but at the same time, I feel like the scene was they did that scene so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and me again being a dummy, I was like, what is she doing? What is in this planner at first? And then I was like, oh, she probably thinks she's pregnant, but like it hasn't been very much time. Like I was a little confused. Yeah, at
Yeah.
first I was like, what is she planning?
Yeah. And there's like, yeah, big red X's and like a red mark where
I was confused by that at first because like it looks like the X you put on a treasure map, and I was like, X marks the spot. What? Like, I don't get it. It took me a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. No, okay,
I was
so,
like, is she leaving or what? Like, what's happening on that day?
oh, I also like on the calendar where everything the first part of her day just said candles, candles, candles. Did you see that?
Mhm.
She's to light the
What does that
candles?
mean?
I
Oh,
don't
light the
know.
candles.
Maybe.
I was wondering about that. I'm like, what is she doing with all these candles?
Candles first thing every morning. Who knows?
Dips the wax. I don't, you did, yeah, who knows? But this goes with her personality a bit too. Like I could see her doing that, like keeping a planned calendar. She's very organized. Her hair's always perfect and pinned up and her little cap.
Oh wait, yeah, just a note about her hair actually. We see her hair only up in like a tight bun for the entire first part of the season. And to see her hair down right before the love scene. Oh my gosh, it made me kind of emotional. Like she's so
Mhm.
pretty. Um
Yeah.
yeah. And it
She's so
was
She has
very, metaphorical as well, letting her hair down and yeah.
I love that. She has beautiful hair, but there is one scene, I can't remember which episode it's in, where she's wearing a wig. And I'm like, why? Why is she
Oh,
wearing a wig? The braid? She had a
yeah.
braid. And I
Very
get,
obvious.
yeah, it was such an obvious wig. And that braid, it was like super thick. So I guess that's why. But yeah, it's like she has beautiful hair. Why do that?
Yeah. Huh.
Maybe her hair was too short to do a side braid. I don't know, but it was very, they could have done better with that. It was so obvious.
Oh, Lord Anthony and Kate are back from India. Kate is there with her son. They're going to stay at Aubrey Hall while Anthony goes on to London to visit his family. Cute couple. People just wanted to see them. Like, you got to give the fans what they want. And of course, we were all predicting this for Lord Anthony to go back to see in his books, in his study, the sketches of Sophie and be like, what? You're planning your life with this maid and you were drawing the lady in silver. Like, what have you been doing with your life, Benedict?
I was hoping for a more like slapstick moment where like Anthony opens the book and like points at a drawing of Sophie and is like, "What is this?" Sadly, we didn't get that, but
Opens it and they just all fly out. Like,
We're all huge fans of Jonathan Bailey. And it reminded me a bit of Lord Anthony's character. He can be like that tough older brother. He can be kind of a little, I don't know, harsh at times. And you see that. He doesn't really give Benedict an opportunity to give his side of the story.
yeah, remember him in season one? He was so overbearing with Daphne, like, did not give her any autonomy at all in choosing her own husband. He was kind of a jerk in season one.
Yeah.
And then he was softened by Kate, you
Yes.
know. But yeah, we did see some of that overbearing older brother come out this season for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
he's so stern.
so stern. And then we learned that Violet tells Anthony about this too. And I love it when they're at the gentleman's club and Benedict says, if you wish to compare apples to opera singers, I thought that was really fun.
That was a good
Because
line.
it was such a good line because he's done this too. He had his opera singer dalliance. Anthony says he was convinced at the time it was something more and he had to make the decision. But it is apples to oranges or apples to opera singers. So,
I
all
will say
right.
I loved Johnny Bailey's suits in part two. They were tailored to perfection and he looked so suave.
In
Yes.
Kate's dress in the Bridgerton house later on, how it has the like the Indian culture influence is oh so
Yeah,
pretty. I love
She,
them.
they're a
she's
stunning
stunning.
couple. Beautiful couple.
Their baby was really beautiful too.
Yeah. Oh, he was such a cutie.
Yes. Yes. So there is that scene where all the Bridgerton gals are sitting together and Sophie's there in the scene. And I remember reading the book and Sunny, you read it more recently. There are a lot of scenes of the Bridgerton ladies together with Sophie in having her girly time, right? Isn't that true?
Yes, no, that's totally true. And it almost helps, I feel like, in the books at least, those scenes where all the women are together, sewing or just chatting, reading, and Sophie's right in there with them, you know. And in the books, they make a point to show that like in private, when it's just the family, Sophie's like kind of one of them. She's like a peer. And I feel like those scenes were a little missed in the show just because I feel like the ending then, when she does become a part of the family eventually, it almost becomes like more of a seamless transition. Like it makes sense that they would welcome Sophie in with open arms because that's kind of like the established dynamic.
Yeah, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. We started to get a little bit of that in part one, where like Eloise was interested in the books Sophie had read too. And yeah, they we didn't get it this season. Maybe they could have replaced one of those scenes of her and Violet talking or her and Benedict just talking in the study with one of those scenes, and it would have been like kind of a cute moment.
Yeah, okay, that actually reminds me too. There was one scene in the book when Penelope comes for tea and she recognizes Sophie from the ball, the masquerade ball, as a lady in silver, and she can't quite place her at first. And there is this sort of like tense moment where Sophie's like trying to leave the room because she knows Penelope's recognized her. And Penelope's like, I swear we've met. And Sophie's like, no, we haven't. And it's like a fun little back and forth between them. And I think that would have been a really fun scene in the show.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I would have liked to see that for
Yeah.
sure.
We we could have used some more girl gossip scenes too. I mean, and with Viscountess Kate being there, like it would have been nice to have that scene drawn out a bit more. Of course, yeah, there is this whole thing too, Cressida is back in town. She is revealed to be Lady Penwood, the new Lady Penwood. And, there's a lot of anticipation for what she's going to be doing. She's going to have a ball. And in this scene, I thought it was cute how Kate is like, preaching them to be forgiving and kind to Cressida. And then they're like, you're a saint, Kate. I'm so glad that Cressida is back because as much as you hated her in earlier seasons, at the end of season 3, you really start to sympathize with her. You see her overbearing mom. You see that she was being, was potentially going to be marrying like a really old man, and she's in a good spot now.
Oh, totally. I think I might have mentioned this to you, Carly, when we talked about season 3 briefly, was I thought Cressida was done so dirty by the writers at the end of last season. I was like, are you kidding me? You like gave her this whole character arc and then she's just going to be shipped out to where did she go? Wales? Like the
Wales,
middle of
yeah.
nowhere? So then when she came back with like a million plus 3 hot pink bows on her, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, we have to talk about that coat. I've got a picture. I don't know if you can see it, but oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
It's over the top. She's always been kind of compared to like maybe your Dr. Seuss kind of characters a little bit in fashion. And yeah, over the top, but I love the way they just go there with her character. Like, oh my gosh. And I just loved the Cressida scenes this season. I didn't think I would form an attachment to Cressida, but I have. Jessica Madsen plays Cressida. I think Jessica could have played an Emma Woodhouse in an adaptation. Do you
Oh
see?
my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes,
you see that? Like if they hadn't gone with Anya Taylor-Joy or something, or they did a different adaptation, which there are so many Emmas already, but I don't know. I could just see Jessica pulling it off.
totally. I see it now.
And let's go back to Benedict and Sophie a little bit. Grand gesture time. He takes her to the conservatory, which he has made as a world of their own, decorated it in candles. We know she has experience with candles and fabrics. And he's so sweet. He drew a sketch of my cottage. He sent words to the crab trees to prepare it for them. He is trying to follow through on his promise. Like, I will take you away from here. I just want to be with you. I don't care about society. And we know that he just doesn't care about society. But she always brings up the point, but you love your family. And I don't want to be the person to take you away from that. He's like, oh, we'll figure it out. I'll make it work. Isn't it better than not being together at all? This is a huge scene. I love the conservatory scene, of course, for so many reasons. One, it's the grand gesture of rom-com, quality that we've been anticipating. But also, I think one of them brings up we really don't know each other that well. And that's kind of a nice, self-aware kind of moment because sometimes these love stories, it's love at first sight, you move, 100 miles per hour. They're like, okay, let's talk a little bit. She admits that she is the illegitimate daughter of a lord and that her mother was a maid. So that's finally revealed out in the open to him. And then he reveals some very, sincere truths about himself to her.
Yeah, it was just so romantic that he like created this little world, this little like magical candlelit world and invited her into it. I also love, okay, kind of random, but I love Sophie's nightgown. Like it's it's one of the prettiest things she's worn on the show.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't know, something about the cut, it's like very flattering on her. Yeah. Romance, we love it.
Romance. And I loved her line too. Love is always a thing to be proud of. The world needs more of it. And I feel like that's exactly the message of this scene and it's great.
Love
Yeah.
that. Random question for Sunny, since you're both a flower expert and sort of a filmmaking expert. Do you think they use real flowers in any of these sets on the show, or do you think they're all fake? Because there's so many flowers.
I am going to say with 98% certainty that they are probably silk flowers. And just because flowers die so quickly and you need them to look the exact same, like shot after shot, scene after scene. And some of these scenes are shot over like several days, so I'm almost certain they're fake. Also, if they are silk, then they're able to be stored and reused, and flowers are so darn expensive to buy.
Yes.
I would imagine it would be like a cost saving measure as well. Yeah, I remember the when the first season came out, I had just begun like my floral career journey, and I was like, how do I get on to the set of Bridgerton and do their flowers for them? Like I was like, I am begging. This is like my dream job.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be perfect for you. And like the that one room that the queen's always in where she meets with Lady Danbury and it's
Yes.
just flowers. That's like all it
Yes.
is. What a dream.
Flowers and bonbons.
Yeah,
Okay.
Steph, that's like one of my favorite locations that they film in. It's just that's like my dream. I don't know what it's called. I guess it's like
Yeah, I
The
don't yeah,
is that
it's
queen.
like a
also a conservatory?
it's like a sunroom type of place. Yeah, I don't know
Yep,
what it
yep.
is.
Where she receives
Yeah.
her guests. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got like the French like trellis in the background. So cool.
Mhm. Very nice. Speaking of Queen Charlotte, so she is struggling a bit with Lady Whistledown's writing. She doesn't think it's meaty enough. She doesn't like the gossip that Penelope's giving her. And Penelope says, very, honestly, I'm not a wallflower anymore. People know my identity, so it's not working. And she has to go to the queen a couple times to just say, I want to pursue other writing. I'm like you, we're in a gilded cage, and Whistledown acts as the palace does for you. I need to get out of here. I feel trapped, and I need to explore something else. And finally, Queen Charlotte acknowledges this. Let's drop the hook, right? She also eventually, finally, lets Lady Danbury off the hook because in part one, Lady Danbury had made this huge speech. I want to leave the ton. I want to get out of here, go back to my roots, go to my ancestral home. And Queen Charlotte had said no very definitively. But we're seeing a different side of Queen Charlotte. She's like, okay, fine, I'll let you go. And of course, we're going to see some really bittersweet moments between the two of them and between Lady Danbury and Violet throughout this season. Do we think Lady Danbury is actually going? Do we think she's going to be taken off the show? I really hope not, Sunny. I know you in our first Bridgerton talk said like I really don't want to see Lady Danbury go as much as I want to see her character get this.
Yeah, they did the classic like estate house thing where they put the cloths over the paintings and the furniture, signifying that they're leaving. Um, I don't know, man. And I do wonder if she does leave, how they're gonna weave that storyline in with the rest of Bridgerton and everything that happens in London, etc. Um,
Yeah.
but after this season, I feel like we're in good hands as far as like the writing goes and side plots being woven in. I'm hoping this is for a grander purpose.
I feel like I could see her disappearing for maybe a season and then making a triumphant return at a later season because I feel like Joa, the
Mm.
actress, like loves Bridgerton. And there was a funny clip where someone's trying to get her to do a spoiler. She's like, "No, I want to keep my job." So I'm like, "Okay, she still has the job." I was like reading into it. But I could see like maybe taking a step back. However, I would also love to see her characters traveling, like what that would look like. So, I mean, she would be traveling in style for sure. So
Mhm.
we shall see. Also to note, Lady Danbury has a big part in Hyacinth's story if you've read the books. Spoiler alert, I'll give people warning to just skip over this, a few seconds if you don't want to know. So Hyacinth gets with Lady Danbury's grandson.
Ooh.
So We'll see.
Oh. Have we met him in the show yet?
I don't believe so. No. So I think there's hope that this won't be the final farewell of Lady Danbury.
Oh my gosh, what if she brings her grandson to London from wherever she's
Yes.
traveling from, and that's how Hyacinth meets him?
Ooh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. His name is Gareth St. Clair in the book.
Ooh.
But they often change like the last name, so maybe we'll just call him Gareth. Um, they tend to keep the first names, but yeah, so that's kind of interesting. And I like the scenes between Penelope and Lady Danbury in the scene because in Penelope's story in the book, the two of them are comrades a bit. And bringing it back to Penelope, there's a scene where she's looking in the mirror writing and she sees her old self.
Mhm.
I cried.
Oh, that got me. Probably
Yeah,
more
that
than
was sweet.
the I love yous from Benedict and
Yep.
Sophie.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Then, towards the end of this episode, we have Cressida's pink confection of a ball, and it's everything we would have imagined Cressida to create when she's having a ball. She's expecting Queen Charlotte to come swing by. The ball is thrown in honor of her, and we know that was sort of like Alice Mondrich's little idea there to give her a little comeuppance. I don't know. And oh, at the beginning of this ball scene, we have Just What I Needed by the Cars.
Mhm. Yes.
And it's funny, so I did watch this with my husband. He was like, he knew this song. He loves the Cars. He was like, yes.
Oh,
This one was for Tristan. Whereas,
that's awesome.
what do you think about the music? I feel like I like the old school stuff. I loved the Paramore still. That's my favorite. They do a lot of like nowadays pop. Do you wish they would go a little more like nostalgic, or is that just me?
No, I definitely do. I'm with you there because yeah, I mean, we're the same age. We live for nostalgia. Like it's a millennial thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know a lot of the newer songs. Of course, I know Charlie XCX. I love her, but yeah, I definitely wish there were some more classics on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there were more early 2000s hits, like R&B remixes.
Ooh.
Putting that out
Yeah.
there, Netflix, if you're listening.
Yeah, and I want some like the golden age of indie, like get some MGMT, some
Mm,
Passion Pit or something. Like I'm just throwing some out
Yeah.
there. Um,
It's very
and
random. It's all over the place, really.
yeah, yeah. It is all over the place. And they asked the cast recently, like, what would you like? And they all did these like modern day pop ones. And then Footman John came through and said The Cure, and I was like, yes.
Yes.
the actress that plays Alice Mondrich, she said DNA by Kendrick Lamar, and I would love to hear a strings version of that. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see that one. So we'll see. We'll see if they start taking requests. Probably not, but um, and later on they do Fields of Gold by Sting in this one. It's when John and Francesca are sharing a moment in the gardens, looking at the moon. Ooh, by now the audience knows what's coming with this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really at the end of this season, at the end of this episode, but let's just do a couple more Cressida Ball scenes. I do like how Eloise, she's been trying to win Hyacinth's favor back from kind of treating her poorly in the part one, and she comes up with this idea, hey, let me sneak you into this ball as a lady's maid. So what's interesting is Sophie lets her wear her lady's maid outfit. I guess when the ladies' maids go attend a ball to chaperone their people, they have a uniform put on by the host. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. I'm almost wondering because the ball is at Penwood House and Sophie used to live there. Maybe she just like gave Hyacinth her old uniform.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she like swung it somehow from either like talking to people in the other house or something. I think she had to like work for it, but I really don't know. I was a little confused too.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe she went to Alfie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because Alfie's in this scene. Of course, Sophie's not because she switched places with Hyacinth. That's so cute. But yeah, Alfie's the one who delivers Lady Whistledown's final papers, which worked as a nice distraction from Queen Charlotte not being there. And Penelope is really just, Cressida had come to Penelope asking for forgiveness. She seemed pretty sincere, pretty genuine, and Penelope was giving her this. And so I thought that was a sweet move. She kind of nods to Cressida, and Penelope's just grown up so beautifully. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This scene was actually what clued me into the possibility of Hyacinth being the new Lady Whistledown because she's like so stressed out at the fact that Lady Whistledown won't be around to write about her debut next season and potentially report on her being Diamond of the Season. And I was like, oh, maybe Hyacinth wants to ensure that happens for herself, which is why she starts writing. Maybe.
I love that. And she realized um, how if you are like a lady's maid or servant, no one recognizes you or like pays attention to you. So yeah, maybe she's
Mm.
gonna do some disguise work to get all the
Oh, I love that.
gossip.
That would be fun.
I also I love that. So let's go with that. I wonder if are they planting throughout this season 4 part 2 like clues to make everyone have like really good ideas who it is and they're just gonna totally do something random. I don't know. I hope not. But this is
Gregory.
Gregory.
Or
No, but
what if they still haven't figured it out and they're waiting for us to give
yes.
them good ideas?
I love that too. Yes. At the end of this episode, it is the tragic one that when I watched this for the second time, I didn't have the heart to watch it again. Like her, Lord John, he's been having these headaches, John Sterling, he's been having these headaches and he keeps blaming Parliament. And Francesca's been stressed about him, not being able to give him a child. It's just been very sad, but of course they still love each other. It's so clear. He goes, oh, Michaela and Francesca have a, come to where they talk to each other and they kind of see each other's sides of things and they form a friendship, which is great. And they're putting together the puzzle, the three of them. Do you remember they're building the puzzle and he looks back and he sees the two of them being friends. It's almost like he's like, okay, I can let myself go now. They have each other and it's just oh,
No, Carly, that's so sad.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I didn't even think about it like that, but that hits
Yeah.
hard.
It was the
Yeah.
look back. The look back. It was like, this is because, that is a thing where people need to make sure their affairs are in order and then they're able to pass on if that is what's happening with them. Um, Sorry to go so deep here, dark, but yeah. And Michaela and John. So we also get the sense earlier that John knows Michaela very well and knows that she does not want to pursue suitors male suitors. And Francesca had kind of tried to put some in her path, and it was like, no, no, no. Finally, Francesca, who gets a little tipsy, which is kind of fun to see. Yeah, they had a nice conversation. So they're friends now, which is really good to see. They put whatever was in the past behind them. And yeah, this is a brutal ending. Like the credits roll, and you're just sitting there like, this happened. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was watching this with Liam, and he's obviously never read the books and doesn't know the lore. So when it did happen, he was like, "No way!"
Yeah,
Like I can't believe it. Yeah, it was shocking, even to me who knew it was coming.
yeah.
But yeah, it was very dark. And the next episode is really dark. But at the same time, I think this next episode is the prettiest episode we've ever had of Bridgerton.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
the best
think
looking.
I totally agree. Best looking and also like best writing, best acting. I think episode 7 of the season is just a standout.
Yeah.
It's called The Beyond, and we pick up with the Bridgerton and Kilmartin family grieving. And I get confused, Sterling family or Kilmartin family, but you know what I'm talking about. One of them's a title, one of them's like their actual name. But they're grieving, they're in their mourning clothes. It's a funeral for Lord John. Benedict gets up and gives the eulogy. He takes over for Anthony, even though we know Anthony's nearby. I don't really know why I wasn't there for this, but it gives Benedict an opportunity to be a leader of his family, talk about how it's an unfathomable tragedy, and he speaks from the heart. And yeah, it's tough. It is a very beautiful scene. We start to see Francesca kind of how she's reacting to this. She's just like, no, I don't want a moment alone. I want to just get back and start serving the guests. That's how she's dealing. Just to take it out of the story for a little bit. Did you see the video that just was released of the actor who plays John, Victor Ali? He he made a surprise appearance at his own funeral and surprised the cast.
No, I haven't seen this. I need to watch it.
Yeah. He was like, "You didn't think you could get rid of me that fast or something." I can't remember what he says, but it's really funny.
I did see that, and it was kind of confusing for me because he shows up in this like night dress, and it was very like Charles Dickens,
Yes.
like Ghost of Christmas Past.
Like,
Back at the funeral reception, Franny's freaking out. She's running out of biscuits and she's just not really who would be able to handle this situation and navigate this clear with a clear head. So her family's trying to support her.
the biscuit scene with the siblings was so sweet. Or they were trying to like bring her out of her grief and like describe the biscuits. It was really cute.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
really sweet scene.
Sophie gives her a little excuse to go tidy up her hair and get her away from everyone. And I thought it was so funny when she was like, "If you need more respite, simply give me a nod and I will slip some brandy into your drink."
I will say, there's something about the way the music swelled when she said that line. It almost sounded like a threat.
Yes,
I
it
was
was
like, it's so
weird.
ominous.
Francesca didn't respond either. She just like walked out of the room and I was like, okay.
I don't know if they thought that scene was gonna, that line delivery was gonna hit a little differently. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it was supposed to be like a light moment, but it didn't land that way.
So funny. Sophie notices in this scene with Francesca that her necklace is missing and her pretty little amethyst necklace from her mother. So she's going to be searching for that in the few upcoming scenes. We learned that Rosamond, we haven't really visited the Penwood, the Dowager Lady Penwood and Rosamond and Posey in a while. We've been skipping through their scenes, but they've been, throwing in little scenes here and there with them. We know that Rosamond is being courted by a lord's daughter. Araminta is trying to get the truth out of Posey. She suspects she knows something. And in an earlier scene, which was a very comical scene, we do see Posey see Sophie at the Bridgerton house. She was the only one that caught it, well, her and Violet. And yeah, so Posey knows. Posey knows, but she's not going to give up the secret willingly.
I love that scene too. It's one of my favorite costume moments from the season. The dresses that Posey and Rosamund wear, they are different sides of the same fabric, um, which I just thought that was like such a cool decision by the costume department. And it looks fabulous. It looks great.
Yeah, they definitely carried through with like the ugly stepsister costuming that we've seen in previous Cinderella adaptations. I'm thinking of Holiday Granger and Sophie McShera in Cinderella 2015. They're always wearing like hot pink and yellow, and here I feel like it's a lot of pink and blue, maybe just some orange thrown in there. It's just, yeah, their costuming is really whimsical and fun.
It reminds me of Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland-esque
Oh, yeah.
costumes. Yeah.
I love that. So Sophie stayed for the funeral. She stayed for the recital earlier. She stayed for the funeral now. So she's trying to leave. Benedict's like tormented by this because he loves her. She's tormented too. And I don't know. Francesca shares a moment alone with Michaela. Uh, and she says, I've always been comforted by silence, but now I need you, Michaela, to fill the silence. Michaela says, in Scotland, a life lost is celebrated instead of mourned. They eat, drink, dance, cry, laugh together. It's very cathartic. Francesca just doesn't get that. The British speak in euphemisms, and this is just two cultures, like not grieving the same way. Of course, we will learn that Francesca comes over to the other side of things. Like, okay, I get it now. Let's let's talk about Violet and Marcus for a second. They've kind of he proposed essentially. Like they're gonna get married, but they're keeping it hush hush. Of course, Lady Danbury knows. And this is a scene where Lady Danbury and Violet are taking a promenade through the market. Lady Danbury's preparing to leave in 2 weeks because Queen Charlotte, gave her the go ahead. And she knows about her brother and friend. Sunny, you've been doing a great job calling out the costumes. And I know in part one, we talked about Violet's costumes being standout. I love how in this episode she wears like a royal, no, she wears like an eggplant purple pelisse, and it's like very textured and it just looks so elegant and beautiful.
Okay, I really want to go back and find this eggplant place you speak of because that sounds beautiful. She w wears a very similar, I think probably it's a very eggplanty purple gown when Lord Marcus proposes to her. I thought that
Ah,
was stunning. It was like vintage Dior or something, just like
ooh.
beautiful satiny goodness, kind of off the shoulder. She looks so elegant in that.
All of her costumes, I agree, they're my favorites this season. They're all so pretty. I can't get enough of them. I want to see all the detail. And I also just love how natural she is. Like you see her natural skin and like you don't
Yes.
often see people with freckles in these types of movies or TV shows and I just think she's so beautiful. I love her.
I also love her freckles. I also have freckle envy. I envy anyone that has freckles.
I'm very freckly and I don't think it's pretty. But it's very nice to see like her natural skin and
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, people in England back then would have been freckled if they were exposing their skin so much in the sun. So
Mm.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, she is just a true beauty, and they've done so well with her costuming. And all the family, they're wearing their dark blue, their black, dark purple. Purple is like half mourning color at this time period too. So, of course,
Oh.
Francesca being and Michaela, they have to wear like the truest black for mourning.
Mhm.
But you'll see like the Bridgerton family, I know Eloise, she wears like a almost like black blue dress. It's like a deep blue, almost black. And this is in a scene where Francesca and Eloise and Penelope are speaking together because they're close and they're trying to make sure Francesca's feeling okay about it. And this is where we learn that Francesca is pregnant or thinks she's pregnant because let's just go there. So she she has to submit herself to a horrible examination. This House of Lords guy, Mr. Dundas, comes to check on Francesca about the lines of succession which must be followed. We've actually seen this character in season three. He was the one who uh, informs Alice and Will Mondrich that their son, Nicholas, will inherit the estate, the Baron of Kent. So there's some continuity here with this House of Lords guy, okay? He's coming to check on Francesca, see if she is pregnant. That was the question he was there to ask her, and she's like, "Yes, I'm with child." But this examination scene is pretty brutal. Benedict tries to stand up for his sister, but no luck. Very uncomfortable. Of course, this is historically what would have happened.
Yeah, I mean, again, relatable as a
Yeah, we've all been
woman.
there.
Yeah, just having to say yes to uncomfortable procedures for the sake of quote unquote health or otherwise. I mean, in Francesca's case, it was, not for that. But yeah, unfortunate and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of the darker scenes I think from this show because this show doesn't really get too dark, but this whole episode, like this first part of the episode at least, is it's rough. But it was really nice to see Eloise sitting with her and, holding her hand and everything. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Eloise has really stepped up this season and is putting her big sister hat on more, which I love to see that for Eloise, that growth.
Yeah. And then the Benedict scene with Francesca trying to comfort her, he feels guilty for not, for throwing her to the wolves there a little bit, but really he couldn't help it. He did try to stand up for her. And she says the outcome would have been the same. Maybe it is better that she just knew in the end. But they're sitting at the piano, and this is a lighthearted scene. This is kind of what I think allows Francesca to realize joy and laughter can be, a comfort. It can be a cure for sadder times. So he's playing the piano. He does a little jaunty tune on the piano and says, I used to play this for you when you were younger and it would make you smile. And if I'm not mistaken, Luke Thompson can play the piano in real life, right?
Indeed.
This shot of her at the piano, I think it's right before he comes up to her, is so beautiful because the piano
Yeah.
is like painted and the sunlight's coming through the window and she's just there, framed perfectly. She's stunningly gorgeous, first of all, and like very period accurate. Like I think she has such a great period drama face. But I just thought that was like one of the most beautiful shots of this show ever.
Truly.
I saw a meme where it was that shot stuff, and it was like the caption was the hardest period face to ever period face ever.
Yes, I saw that too. That's so funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Truly.
But it's true, yeah, she looks like a painting.
I've always
Mhm.
felt she looks like Mia Wasikowska, and then
Yes.
she kind of sounds like
Mm.
Lily James. So I feel like maybe that it's an because she's got those qualities. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about costumes. We have to talk about Queen Charlotte costumes. There's one in this episode and there's one in the next episode. I know you both are thinking the same thing. This one, her zebra dress stuff. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, hold on. Like I had to pause it. I had to take a picture. I've got a picture on my phone. I was like, this is the best thing ever. All of her dresses kind of look like tapestries this season. Is that
Hmm.
a good way to describe
Mm.
it?
Yeah.
Like they all are that same, they have a portrait on them, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the skirt is more like your classic painting and it has like a frame around it even. And then the
Yes.
stomacher, so the part of the corset in the front will have a nod to what's on the skirt. So in this scene, it's like there's a full zebra in a frame on her skirt, and then it's like the cute zebra print on the stomacher.
Yes. Oh, I want to
Yes.
see it in detail so bad. I need like a full shot of this dress. It was incredible.
Yes, it was so beautiful. And it was like a nice, pretty light blue as well. Some floral vines and flowers. She had a floral necklace. Another birdcage wig. We've seen her do the birdcage wigs before. And then a call out to the Marie Antoinette 1938 movie starring Norma Shearer. She has a birdcage wig in that. So, I mean, they're getting some great classic movie reference in here with Queen Charlotte's wigs. Uh, and we're seeing how she's slowly accepting change here in this scene. She's missing Lady Whistledown, who would have said something profound about Lord Kilmartin's passing. It's like, okay.
Hmm.
And then, Lady Danbury mentions losing a husband can be a release for some. So it's all these scenes with Queen Charlotte and Lady Danbury are so well done. At one point, Posey is standing there by the window and she's wearing a really pretty turquoise dress with puff sleeves and like a butterfly bow in the front. And then Rosamund has this orange look with turquoise sprigs and an oversized, even more oversized butterfly bow in the front. And they're going to go to the modiste. But this is where Araminta starts to get really devious. She's like, Posey, you're going to stay here. And you can tell that she's having Varley spy on her, see what she does if she's left alone. Well, sure enough, Posey escapes through the window. She's very excited. She loves doing this. She goes and she sneaks into the Bridgerton house, gets Footman John, the handsome footman, to go away, and then she runs up to see Sophie to warn her that Araminta is planning to have her arrested. Sophie's like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna leave for the Americas soon. Don't worry about it. Then we have a funny scene where, she's like, oh, yeah. Posey's like, oh, yeah, I just read a book. I just read a novel. I didn't escape anywhere. And Varley believes her. But Araminta, she's like, no, no, no. So she takes Posey over to the couch and she seems to be acting very sweet to Posey, saying, like, oh, I was like you when I was young. She's really milking it here, explaining her story of why she is the way that she is and treated Sophie the way she was. And throughout this, you do kind of see her point sometimes, but then in the end, when she gets some information from Posey and they hug and you see this like face, this smiling face, you know that she did it all to be devious. Stephanie, do you have thoughts on this scene?
Well, I was with her at first. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like I would be mean and bitter too, probably, if I, dealt with this in my life. I understand where she's coming from. I love this. But then, yeah, she really like fulfills the evil villain in this story, like through to the end. And I kind of love that. I'm glad they stuck with that and kept her evil. She's really good at being evil too.
She really is. And I think in an interview, she was like, I found it pretty easy to be evil. I was surprised or something to act like this.
Yeah. Urine was like, she just locks in and she gives you that cold stare.
Love
It's like,
it.
whoa.
And then, so in the end of this episode, we get John's Scottish celebration. Michaela leads them all in a dance and leads them all in a conversation. There's some nice cathartic moments for Francesca. We see that, everyone loved John. It's clear. Um, but poor, poor Francesca, she really thought she had her life planned out, and then Destiny had other plans. Yeah, it's an emotional, couple episodes here. But then we do have a nice release here. They dance, they raise their arms up in a stag position, they spin, link arms, and switch partners. Michaela and Francesca dance. And, you're kind of, as we were saying earlier, Stephanie, you're looking to see if there's some flirtation here, some chemistry. And, right now it just seems more friendship, I'd say.
Mhm.
They're there for each other for sure. Okay, Benedict has been again absorbing all of the advice. So when Francesca said, when you find someone whose qualities match your own, whose kindness makes you feel warm, and who can read your mind from across the room, you see Benedict just being like, okay, because he's actually gotten his mother's like go ahead. She realized, okay, you actually love the girl, and he's about to leave to go get Sophie, and she says, "Wait." And the way she delivered that line, I don't know. She was just so perfectly Mother Violet. It was so great. She knew what was going to happen. She says, "I've left something for you on your desk. It was my grandmother's," which is so cute. He runs away. He's riding his horse because they're at the Kilmartin house and he's going back to Bridgerton house. The horse clip clops are kind of going along with the Scottish music. Did you get that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, it was peak cinema, truly.
Yes. We see Sophie packing, we see Benedict fetching the ring, and then oh my gosh, alas, he spots the necklace under the bed, the amethyst necklace, and light bulb goes off. He's seen her wear the necklace before when she was undressing herself. Oh, and I've seen this necklace before that. He goes back to his drawings. There are flashback scenes of them dancing at the ball because also Sophie's looking at the gazebo. She's remembering them. He's remembering them and remembering the necklace on the masked silver lady. And finally, finally, after all this time, she was right there in front of him. I mean, what was going through your heads when you saw this scene? I know, Sunny, you said peak cinema.
The last 10 minutes of this episode, I think it's my favorite scene of the season. I love Stephanie. I know you do as well. Anything with music or with dancing. I rewatched this the last 10 minutes like 100 times.
Oh,
Oh.
Um, but yes, the reveal. I don't know if we talked about this in our part one episode, but I actually predicted that this was how Benedict would eventually discover Sophie's true identity as a lady in silver because in the first episode of part two, he's like sketching, drawing, and there's like a close up of his sketch of the necklace. And I was
ooh.
like, oh no, sorry, that was in part one. But that's what clued me in. I was like, oh my gosh, if he remembers that amount of detail on the necklace, then he's definitely gonna recognize it on Sophie at some point later. So that was like thrilling for me as a fan, as a
Yes.
viewer, to get that moment of like, I knew it, I knew this was gonna happen.
That's always great when you're like, I was right. Like it's the best feeling. Even if it's something obvious too, you're just like, I knew it. Not that that was not obvious. I did not think about that. But yeah, it was just It was great. You know, kind of cheesy and them, you know, having these feelings at the same time and, you know,
Yep.
very romance. This whole season, just like all the tropes, like we get
Yeah.
everything. And I
Yeah.
kind of love that. I think they did it well.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
so
was like
right.
so confused because I was like laughing while Benedict was like galloping on his horse to the timing of the Scottish Road, but I was also crying. So I was like, what am I feeling right now? Like I'm like laughing because it's so cheesy and so funny, but I'm also crying because like it's like such a cathartic moment and like Benedict's finally going after his love. Yeah, I don't know. It
Yeah.
was just great entertainment, great TV.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yes, and he goes up to her room, but she's gone. She left the glove there in the open dresser drawer. I wonder if that was kind of like once she's gone, she wanted him to find out. I don't know. Um, then he runs down to the staff's quarters. Hazel is able to say, like, no, 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 she's actually not at Penwood House. She's leaving for the Americas on a ship, leaving at dawn. Sophie is out in the front yard. Araminta is there in front of Sophie with the constable, and she's just very cool and evil. Fortunately, we no longer have to disturb the Bridgertons. And then you are arrested on suspicion of thievery and impersonating nobility. She's put in the paddy wagon. she's sh Poor Sophie shouting to Araminta. Araminta feels no remorse. That, you know, uh, cart gets taken away. I love the zoom in. So there's like a slight zoom out of the Bridgerton house, and then this like zoom in, and we see Benedict running out the door. He's too late. That was also a fun little scene, right?
Again, peak cinema, guys. The whole last 10 minutes, it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I so agree.
This one would have been fun to see in theaters. And Sunny,
Mm.
Sunny, you and I got the opportunity to see season 8, episode 1 of Outlander in a theater setting. And it's so fun, even if it's not a movie, but you get the communal laughter and gasps and, excitement and sighs. And I feel like this would have been good to see in theaters.
Oh, absolutely. Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah, it would have
Mhm.
been.
That was a great cliffhanger for episode 7. But now we have episode 8, the final finale episode of season 4. We are all ready for it. It's called Dance in the Country. I still don't get the title. Um,
Honestly, same, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Sophie is in prison and she's explaining that she did not do it. The constable is just like, okay, well, no one's going to believe you. She wants to send word to Alfie, but he's like, no, if you draw people into this, you're going to hurt their reputation. Very mean. Queen Charlotte is having a ball in honor of Lady Danbury, who is going elsewhere. And she has, sent out an invitation. And I love it. You like pull it out, and there's just, like really small writing. Lady Featherington has to use a magnifying glass. I do love the little Lady Featherington scenes. She always just makes me laugh. When she opens Cressida's invitation and like the confetti pops out, like I don't
That was funny.
know. And she also, Lady Featherington, she's missing her Varley. Varley's working for the Dowager Lady Penwood, and she won't admit it though. Lord Stoddard has proposed to Rosamond. And Rosamund lets it slip that Araminta had Sophie arrested. So Posy's like, oh gosh, oh my gosh. So, and then Varley realizes her mistake in playing a part in this. So she goes to seek Alfie's help. I love Alfie. Less words, please. And they are making their way to the Bridgerton house. They meet up with the Bridgerton staff. Oh, Varley is enamored with the Bridgerton kitchen. Is that an automated roasting spit? So cute. And I know, Sunny, you love those kitchen scenes.
That scene did make me laugh, yeah.
And, the Bridgerton family is also all together when Benedict barges in about Sophie. And so then it's kind of a combination where everything's kind of coming together. So Hazel's there to let them all know what's happened, what's transpired, that Sophie is not on a ship to the Americas. She's in prison. She has to get Mrs. Wilson to yell over them all. And she says, I have good news and bad news. Good news, Mr. Bridgerton will not be needing a vote. Then it cuts to Sophie in jail. Araminta's first visiting her, wanting her to submit a confession, right? Then we have this courtroom scene. Sophie's about to be sentenced when Benedict and Violet burst in. And Sunny, I think this is a little different from the way the book is written, but it is true that Violet and Benedict go together to save Sophie in the book, right?
Yes, it's a very fun scene in the book. I do think I prefer how they did it in the show.
Okay.
There's just like more room to verbally spar, I think, and it's just like fun to see. Also, I'm pretty sure Sophie punches Araminta in the book in the scene, like, and I don't know, maybe that would have been fun to see, but I'm also kind of glad we didn't see any like violence.
Oh my. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, and yeah, it's a good courtroom drama scene. Araminta won't drop the charges, even if the Bridgertons pay for the damn shoe clips. Um,
The damn shoe clips.
but she also brings up the charge of impersonating a lady, and you see Violet learn for the first time that the lady in silver is Sophie. I mean, she may have had suspicions, but it's like, there it is. Sophie's released on bail, but must remain in the Bridgerton household. So this is great because Sophie is no longer in the servants' quarters. She has a guest room now. And Hazel gets to really shine in some of these scenes where she's like, Sophie's like, I don't understand. My room is upstairs in the servants' quarters. And she's like, not anymore. Oh my gosh. I love Hazel.
Yeah, she's funny. She's like, girl, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah. This actress, I looked her up, McGonagall. Oh, Gracie McGonagall, like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And my husband Tristan, for whatever reason, he was like, Hazel's a great character. Like, I don't know. So she's good. She is good.
Yeah, she's fun. I want to see more of her and the footman. What's his name again?
John, Footman John.
John. Yeah, I want to see more of their little relationship. They're very cute.
They're adorable. I think we will. I think kind of like they gave us more Alfie. Like I think they're gonna give us more Hazel and Footman John.
Yeah.
Uh, and Mrs. Wilson says she'll be watching to make sure they don't have a little fun at the house. Um, she's got eyes everywhere. But then we do have a scene, they're being watched, but Benedict walks out with the necklace and she says, how long have you known? He explains finding her pendant. And, she says she realizes she's almost like in the wrong a little bit here. I never wished to lie to you, only I could not stand your disappointment. And his line is great. The very last thing I feel, knowing it's you, is disappointment. Like, that was good. Like, no, this is like dream come true for him. But he feels a little hurt because she she didn't think he could handle the truth. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'll say Benedict in the books cannot handle the truth. I don't know if you remember
Ooh.
Carly, but he like has like a conniption when he finds out that Sophie lied to him about being the lady in silver. He becomes like very, very upset. And like, I don't know, it's just not the Benedict that we know and love. It's not Luke Thompson at all. Um, and I'm really, really glad the writers took this direction with it. And yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate that the Benedict we know is like understanding of why she made the decision that she did.
Yeah. Okay. Good, good. I'm glad you called that. Yeah, I remember you talking about how you don't love Benedict in the book.
No. No, he's a jerk. Yeah, so I don't know if you remember Curly, but in the books he finds out because she's playing like hide and go seek with the kids upstairs and she's wearing
Oh
a
yeah.
blindfold and Benedict walks into the room while she's playing with the kids and he sees like isn't that so silly? He like sees her lips and he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's you." And then he like freaks out and like he like literally goes berserk and like starts yelling at her and I'm like, "Bro, like are you kidding me?" So unnecessary.
Oh my gosh. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. But yeah, it's like Blind Men's Bluff or whatever, the
Yes,
game.
that's what it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
That is so funny. Yeah, they did some good changes here. Constantly throughout season 4, I'm having parallels with Ever After. You agree, Steph?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking about that like the whole time. We talked about that a little bit in our first
Hmm.
episode on Bridgerton, but yeah.
This also made me feel a little like Ever After when the prince just kind of feels like lied to and deceived a little bit. I don't know. I feel like they had to have been thinking about that particular Cinderella story for some of this.
Mm,
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
mm.
Yeah.
definitely.
Violet consults Lady Danbury. Even if her father was nobility, can we make this work? And Lady Danbury's like, no, she was illegitimate, and this isn't going to work. And they, say they're going to miss each other when she leaves. So they have a great friendship, and it's always good to see them in a scene together. Back to the Bridgerton house, Hazel diverts footman John. You look handsome tonight, John. Oh my gosh. And then he's even like he kind of takes the bait. He's like, I haven't been certain if you're interested. And you know, they're definitely forming a little romance and they're cute. It's like they must not have admitted it yet, even though they've been flirting and until now. But then we have a major scene, guys. This is the bathtub scene that we had gotten a little foretaste of, if you will, before this, the bathtub scene. Wow. It's, yeah, this is an oversized bathtub that they climb into. Yeah.
Can we just talk about the close-up of his butt prior to him getting into the bathtub? Because it's so comical to me, the way they shot that. It just like zoomed in and just stopped on his butt for a second.
You're so right. But you know what? Because you voiced it, it's making me laugh because it was there, but I just didn't think of it until you said it.
Just
Oh,
imagine us watching it together and giggling. It was hilarious.
that is so funny.
But the rest of the scene, best best love scene in the whole show, I think.
Yeah.
What do y'all
Mm,
think?
Yeah. Yeah.
totally.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And they have some communication at first where she's like, I was furious when you did not recognize me. But then I realized it doesn't matter. You've shown me a tremendous amount of love. And she really breaks down here too, like about her father. That was the only person that she ever really truly loved and felt loved by. And then when he wasn't providing for her in the will. And then Benedict's like, did you see the will for yourself? Come on, Sophie. Wise up a little bit. Araminta hates you.
That moment reminded me so much of me and Liam, where like I get really emotional about something, and he's like, but like he like d goes through the motions very logically, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's something to say about, emotions. Those are real. Those are very real. And so
Yeah.
she felt very vulnerable and very insecure because of her place in life. And so she just thought maybe I dreamt of my father loving me and providing for me and promising me these things. So she believed Araminta, but Benedict hugs her so sweetly and apologizes again for asking her to become his mistress. He wants to propose, but she's like, let's wait a second. Then we get the steamy, oversized bathtub scene. And I have to say also, Sophie looks I'm sure she wanted to just wash the prison off of her, but she looks very pretty still for having been in prison. Like her hair is just a little wispy, a little like. But yeah, and they get in there. And I think this is a Camila Cabello song. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even recognize the song. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I love how Sophie looks when she's like in the bathtub, like waiting for Benedict to get in. She looks like a little mermaid. Yeah, like she's like perched on the side of the tub.
After the butt
Mm.
shot, you just see her
Yeah.
like cute little.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, she's so cute. And then like when they talk about it in interviews, they filmed 6 hours in the tub
Ugh.
and like the milky, oily waters, and they were just feeling all slippery. And
Ugh.
then and that scene in the bathtub where she kind of pushes him and it like the water overflows, that's also funny.
Yeah, she like slams him against the edge of the tub.
Oh my gosh. I wonder if they like had to workshop some of these scenes, like
I'm sure they did. There's so many funny stories from just this scene that they've talked about. Like when he pours the water on her hair, apparently it was like scalding hot and burned
Oh
her.
no. Oh
And
no. Oh,
she was talking about how she had to point her toes a lot, which I
oh.
noticed. I was like, she's really going for it with the pointed toes,
Yeah.
like to look pretty.
Oh, of
So
course.
that cracks me up. And then she mentioned that the whatever they put in the bathtub, it gave her folliculitis, like a rash all over her body.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Just crazy.
Oh man, that's something
Wow.
that would happen to me, honestly.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
That's
Sensitive skin.
crazy. Yeah, you'd think they would have tested it first. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And then
seriously.
she's like, I think she said she's 5'2", so the tub is just huge. And he joked that it was like pushing her down the river when he like
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, Tristan was like, they must have had five intimacy coordinators on the scene, like all different angles, like 360. Oh my gosh.
I would like to say I'm always a little stressed out in these period dramas when there's a bathtub in a bedroom and like I'm like, where,
Yeah.
first of all, like how do they get it in? How do they fill it? And also like the moment when Sophie pushes him against the bathtub and the water splashes out, very hot, very sexy, but the OCD part in me was like, oh my God, somebody's gonna have to mop that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's gonna smell like mildew in there.
This is what I'm saying.
Ugh.
Stressed me out a little bit. No,
Yeah.
but it was a great love scene. Definitely the best
Yeah.
one so far.
Also, they've never been quiet. Like they've never cared about people being able to hear them all in that house. Like, shoving stuff
Uh-huh.
off of the table, the bathtub, like hello. They didn't care.
I did
No.
have
And
that thought as well. Like John and Hazel are just outside listening to them getting it on.
oh yes, they probably are. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were doing it at the same time.
I'm dead.
Oh my gosh. The next scene is Sophie being a bit OCD, perhaps wiping off a tablecloth, fluffing a pillow. She can't stand to be idle. And she likes things, nice and clean, and her servant self is coming back into play. But of course she's wearing a pretty light blue dress. She's a guest right now at the Bridgerton household. And Eloise comes in and she like does a little bow, and Eloise is like, "You don't have to do that anymore." And then Sophie says, "Miss Bridgerton, I hope you're not cross with me." Oh, I'm positively outraged. Yeah, she's outraged that something interesting happened right under her nose, and she just didn't even realize what was going on. Like, ugh, I get it, Eloise, I get it. But yeah, this too, if there had been a few more scenes between the girlies, this would have been, I think, a nicer scene. This is a little more out of nowhere, I think.
Yeah, for me, I was like, oh, well, that was easy. Like,
Yeah.
she just accepted this and immediately welcomed her into the family.
Yeah, yeah. But then Sophie asks for her help, and I love this scene. So, cut to Eloise and Cressida chatting. They're gonna get Sophie in there to look for the will at Penwood House in the study, and we get some time with Eloise and Cressida, who were friends at the beginning of season three. Of course, they fell apart, and they're talking about house decor and the pink and all that for a little while Sophie and Alfie slip away to find the will. But then we have some great scenes where Eloise uh, is talking about pink, and Cressida's like, "I know why you're really here. You've succumbed to the mania, the marriage mania." And then Eloise, "I am quite overcome with the madness." She's just trying to play along. But then they actually have a heart to heart because looks like Cressida's been reading Mary Wollstonecraft, and she says something very profound. Women at that time, if they are able to find a happy marriage, it actually allows them to have a place in life and have a drawing room that they can decorate and have their own space. And Eloise says, "Yes, I'm starting to see that." She's thinking of Benedict, who has changed his life because he fell in love. I feel like we're getting signs of Eloise coming around to making some life changes here or accepting things. I think my prediction is that it is going to be Eloise's season next because of this scene and because we've seen such character growth with Eloise helping her sisters. And it's not even about the finding the love. It's just I think it's Eloise's time to just have a season about her. Do you guys agree?
I would love that. She's so funny. Like I'm obsessed with her. Like every time I see her just slouched on a couch, I'm just like so happy to see her. So that would be really fun. And I'm interested to see where they take it and to see if she, does fall in love and change or if she remains the same Eloise. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Sunny, you and I talked a little bit. Do you predict Eloise or Francesca season next?
So I do predict that Francesca will be next, just because they really set up her storyline this season. You know, the events of John dying and her becoming closer with Michaela or Michael in the books, that was all in her book. And so I just wonder if, yeah, they're just like getting that out of the way so that her season can all about her and Michaela falling in love, and it's like a true like Bridgerton season of like a rom-com season. Um but also, Hannah Dodd has been doing so much press with Yaron Ha and Luke Thompson specifically, and I'm just wondering if they're like trying to give her more face time to like, big her up for her season, which may or may not be next. That being said, I do want Eloise to be the next season. Like, I feel like Eloise has just been like languishing, and I think she can't. I don't want to see her languish for another whole season. Like, I think she deserves like a go at life and
Yeah.
love. Yeah. So I hope it is her.
But that's your theory. Okay, no, I get that. Yeah. And we'll just go there. So at the end of this, their kind of resolution is Michaela and Francesca are sitting there. They're great friends now, and Francesca wants her to stay, wants Michaela to stay. And she's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll stay for you." They grab hands, and Michaela pulls away, and you see like she's caught feelings. And this is when for me, it finally feels like they're at the start of Francesca's story when he was wicked. That's what it's called. It's actually the most steamy of the books. Where because in the book, it's Michael or Michaela who has the feelings, not Francesca. But we haven't seen that. And I feel like this is finally where it's like she's caught feelings for Franny.
Mm.
And so it does feel like the start of that story. But also in that story, Michaela or Michael goes away for 4 years after John's passing because he feels guilty for feeling things for Francesca since they both love John. 4 years, what would that be? That would be after Eloise's season.
Ooh, good
Like
theory.
a clue there, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But we shall see. Steph, do you have any suspicions here with the season? Who's next?
I don't. I really don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of weird to like not focus on Francesca after everything we've been through with her, but then again, like she probably needs some time to mourn before she falls in love, just like, in the book apparently. Um, and yeah, I can't imagine Eloise just sitting around, talking about the same things over and over for another season. So, yeah, I maybe there will be a joint season. I don't
Mm.
know if they would do that, but
No, apparently it's together. They're gonna have two separate seasons. We just don't know which
okay.
order. That's what
Okay.
the showrunner revealed vaguely.
Got it. I don't know the scoop. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I say Eloise. Let's do Eloise next.
Let's do it.
I just remembered I saw a theory on Reddit that the reason Hannah Dodd is doing all the press with Yaren and Luke is because they are sequestering Claudia Jessie like to prep her for the new season. So that's like another theory is that we're not seeing her because she's working.
Okay.
Gotcha. I
That
love
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah. All right, time will tell. All right, let's finish this episode, this finale of Bridgerton season 4. So we find out about the will. Okay. Lady Penwood has been able to get 4,000 pounds each year for keeping Sophie on. She was profiting from her. And there was a dowry evenly split between the three young ladies. So, wow. But Alice Mondrich has a plan, and so this is all going to happen at the ball. We have Queen Charlotte's ball for Lady Danbury. We got to talk about the costumes. We have Lady Danbury in a corally, orangey gown. She looks very sleek, very beautiful. We have Queen Charlotte in a epic dress. It's dark hunter green with some gold, a bit of coral running down the sides of the skirt, which I think they paired well with Lady Danbury's look. But the highlight of the dress is the famous painting The Swing from 1767 by Jean-Honoré Fragonard. Famous Rococo painting on the skirt, and then part of it sort of attributed there in the stomacher again, in the front of her like corset. This is an amazing gown. Sunny, I know you got some close-ups on Instagram that you found of this dress.
Yes, the one of the members of the costume department, I believe his name's Jack Oliver. He posts so many good detail photos of all the costumes that he works on Instagram, so everybody should go check that out. This is definitely my favorite costume at the Queen's Ball is the Queen's dress. And I think I've seen that painting actually, The Swing by
Ooh, yeah.
Fragonard. Yeah. So I was excited to see it on her dress.
It's a beautiful painting and like very iconic. There's, a woman being pushed on the swing by an older man, and then there's like a younger man hidden in the bushes watching the woman, and it's just very, I don't know. And there's a Cupid. It's very iconic. Great choice. Great choice to use for a costume piece. Wow. Okay, so they sneak Sophie into the ball. She's wearing a light blue Cinderella perfect dress. She looks very beautiful. And yeah, finally out of the maid's costume.
Thank God.
She gets to wear something very pretty and regal. So they're gonna enact Alice Mondrich's plan where they go into a room with Araminta and they hash it out because Araminta has embezzled the dowry, dishonored the will. She's now a criminal. And so they're gonna use that to make Sophie like seem like a legitimate noblewoman or, part of the gentry so that she can be married to Benedict and they don't have to go flee to the country. And, there's a lot of this is a great scene between Araminta and Lady Violet. We learn, Posey and Rosamond learn that about the dowry. 18K versus 36K. They were going to use Sophie's part of the dowry for Rosamond, and that's why Lord Stoddard agreed to marry her. And Rosamond's pissed. She's like, "Really? You didn't believe in me?" Long story short, they agree to a more mutually beneficial recounting of events. And when the Queen comes in there, right, Alice Mondrich brings her in there, the Queen's like, I'm told you are in love, Mr. Bridgerton. He presents Miss Sophie Gunn, so that's her father's true last name. She's the daughter of his cousin. Okay, Violet kind of lies. Araminta supports the lie. Queen Charlotte laughs heartily, comically in this scene. Sophie speaks up too and says, I can say with complete conviction that I am by birth and by education a daughter of Penwood House. She's not lying. Not exactly. And Queen Charlotte comes over to her, takes her chin, and says, You would have made a wonderful diamond. So I think, Queen Charlotte might have suspicion here. She's like, Very well. Was there something of interest about shoe clips? I think there was, but carry on. So, I think Queen Charlotte might know something's not totally straightforward here, but she's going to let it slide. Is that what the vibe you were getting?
Yeah, definitely. I think she knows what's up, and she's like, "You continue this theater. This is hilarious."
Yeah, because she's been wanting some more amusement and she's
Hmm.
getting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sophie and Benedict enter as a couple and they dance. And is this the dance that Benedict does with Jimmy Fallon on his show? Did you see that?
I
Yes,
believe.
the Fleckle. The Fleckle?
It's so cute. They spin and then they just let their arms down out. It's very sweet. And yeah, it's great to see them finally dancing and in society as a couple. He proposes. And yeah, All good. Other things that happen at the ball, Posey is encouraged by Eloise to go to Lord Barnaby and kind of have a little flirtation there and dance with him. Also in the book, Sunny, doesn't Posey get kind of like taken in? Doesn't she get taken in by the Bridgertons? Like they adopt her kind of?
Yeah, so in the books, Araminta like practically disowns her. She says, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Lady Violet adopts her and she essentially lives as like sort of like as a ward of the Bridgertons for the rest of her young adult life, and then she eventually finds love and gets married. But yeah, she is in all for all intents and purposes a Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
hmm
So I feel like maybe they just skip a step and she maybe finds her love in this scene and that's how her happy ending will be, and that's fine. Other happy endings, Varley and Lady Featherton make up. Not a not so happy ending, Marcus and Violet. She's been kind of stalling things, of course, Francesca and the funeral, just letting her children know about this, but now she's really like she had this really cute moment with Benedict saying like she used to be young and carefree and she kind of wants to get to know that side of herself again. Do we like the way this ended though?
I think it's for the best because
Okay.
I loved Lady Violet and Lord Marcus together. I thought they were so cute. They had great chemistry. They looked great together. And I wish I like wanted that love for Lady Violet, that second great love. But also, I think Lord Marcus deserves somebody who's like absolutely sure of him. And Lady Violet was so
Wishy-washy.
maybe, maybe not. Yeah, like will she not? And like I could see that becoming tiring for anybody. So, you know, Lady Violet's on her next adventure and I guess we should just be happy for her.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Steph?
Yeah, I mean, I think she learned a lot about herself and, let herself be free, and now she's going to continue to do that. So I think that's lovely. I hope there wasn't guilt there, when Benedict kind of accuses her of having her friend. I hope
Mm,
he didn't make her feel guilty, and that's kind of what led to this. But yeah, I think it is for the best as well. I think it'll be interesting to see where her story goes and if she has other love interests. And yeah, it was sad for sure. I feel bad
Hmm.
for her, but yeah, hopefully she'll have more
Yeah.
adventures.
Yeah. And maybe they'll end up together in the end after she marries a few
Mhm.
more children off.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a lovely ending for Sophie and Benedict. Of course, we have to mention that there's a nice little ending moment between Lady Danbury and Queen Charlotte where they're laughing and talking about how much fun it was. That was fun. We have so much fun together. And then she's crying. Queen Charlotte's crying and she goes, "Oh, bother. I command these to stop," meaning her tears. But Queen Charlotte's great character. But when she said, "Oh, bother," Tristan goes, "What are you, Winnie the Pooh?" Which is
Oh,
um,
bother.
oh, bother. And this is almost the scene where we have the new Lady Whistledown voiceover. And at the very end of it, okay, also, I think that Julie Andrews is definitely Julie Andrews, but her voice is changed a little bit. Is she giving like different voice
I think
qualities?
she is, yeah.
I think she's just getting older.
Oh,
I know
Oh.
that's depressing, but I think she's just getting older.
aw.
Maybe she
Okay.
is putting on a voice. Maybe, yeah, we can go with that. That's a nicer thing to think about.
That is nicer to think about. Um, but at the end, when she says, "We are going to have so much fun." And that's like what Lady Whistledown says. But that almost made me think the way that Queen Charlotte was like, "That was fun. We have so much fun together," to Lady Danbury. Could it be something, someone from Queen Charlotte's household? I mean, maybe Queen Charlotte writing Whistledown. I don't know. Maybe Brimsley, maybe Alice Mondrich, like trying to bring the fun back for the Queen. So that's my other little, I don't know. Are they giving us a little clue here?
I love that. That's a good theory.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we have an ending gazebo scene with Benedict and Sophie, bringing us back to episode one. Very beautiful. Clock strikes midnight, very Cinderella. But then we have a post-credit scene, which we all love. And I got a little scared when the credits rolled and I hadn't seen the wedding because I'd seen the wedding dress on Instagram. Fast forward. Whew, okay, it's there. Anthony is giving his wise older brother advice to Benedict, but this time the advice is never listen to me again. That was cute. Then we have Kate, who's, she's at the wedding there and she says, she turns and speaks to the ladies, whose wedding do you think we will be attending next? Eloise is the first to speak. Is that another clue? She says, oh, I do love a wedding. All the best people in the same place. Dot, 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 as an attendee. Just a thought. Maybe that was like a clue. She's the first one to speak.
Mm.
I don't know. And then Penelope oddly says, Francesca, do you think you're going to have another one of these? It's like, whoa,
Yeah, that
Dang,
was like
girl.
a really invasive question.
a little weird. But then we have the wedding commencing. Sophie is a vision walking down the aisle in your classic Empire Waist Regency dress. Of course, white wedding dresses were not as common in this time period, but we're going to let it pass. It's beautiful. It's what we wanted to see. And let's talk about her look a little bit. I know, Sunny, you zoomed in on the costume on Instagram for this one too. Yes.
Yes, it's so pretty. The bust has got this like asymmetrical draping on it and a bunch of embellishments on like the I wish I was better with fashion terms, but there's like small silk flowers and like beads and stuff, and that's the other side of the asymmetrical bust. And then um Empire waist, and there's oh, what is it called? The
The
back
sack
flap?
back, sack
Yes, the
back.
the sack back. And inside the sack back, the wings of the sack back, there are more beautiful embellishments, silk flowers, or maybe they're satin flowers. Um, yeah, I thought it was a gorgeous look. Erin Ha looks great in a puff sleeve. She was made for the role of Cinderella because all of her costumes have puff sleeves on them.
Yeah.
The only thing, my only critique is the bow on the back of her hair. Felt a little misplaced. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
know. What did you guys think?
The only thing I thought it was maybe like 'cause she wore bows and the Lady of Silver had bows
Oh, yes,
and
you're
the back
right.
of the mask, so maybe that was just a nod to that.
I can
I don't
see
know.
that.
I
Yep.
don't know. And her makeup is beautiful. And she talks about her makeup in some of the Instagram and how her eyelashes are her true eyelashes, just permed. Also, the pretty rosy, it's a pink red lip. I think it's just a really beautiful color. And she's gorgeous. What can we say?
Yeah.
What can we
Gorgeous
say?
glam. Also, her hair's so nice. Like, I think this is my favorite hairdo of hers we've seen. Not that we've seen very many for Sophie, poor thing, as a maid, but yeah, the like half up, half down really suits
Yeah.
her, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Benedict also looks dashing. Stephanie, I know you were zooming in on his looks.
Yes. Yeah, I loved he and Anthony both looked beautiful in their wedding garb. But yeah, I saw on the official Bridgerton podcast, Luke mentioned that he's wearing a little pin that has a little kite on it. And I just thought that was such a beautiful little detail. So I love that. And yeah, I agree that Yaren, really her hair and makeup were like the standouts for me. The dress is pretty, but I think this time period just isn't my favorite for dresses.
Mm,
But yeah, she looked so beautiful. And I love that it was outdoors and
yeah.
everyone looked so pretty. Posy was wearing her bright colors.
Yeah. Yeah, she was there with Lord Barnaby and also on Sophie's side of the aisle, you have all the servants from Bridgerton House, from Penwood House. The Crabtrees are there. This
Yes.
might even be my cottage. I couldn't tell if it was Aubrey Hall or my cottage.
You mean our cottage?
Oh, yes. Cute. But because after the I do's, it zooms inside and there's the painting of the woman in silver, it makes me think it might be our cottage.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, I think it might be because of the outdoor setting.
Yeah. And that's where we end it with that that beautiful painting. Finally, Sophie's face has been added to the completed painting of the woman in silver at the masquerade ball. It's just the perfect fairy tale ending, and then you Benedict signed it at the bottom.
It's very ever after that ending.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because of the painting.
Hmm.
That's such a good point. Oh, Benedict is Leonardo da Vinci also. Oh my gosh. No, and one more thing is that I did notice Sophie has matching amethyst earrings now to match her amethyst pendant necklace. Cute.
Yes, and I think her engagement ring is also amethyst.
Oh, that's
So she's got a
perfect.
set.
That is so good. I was wondering if, did you say, or am I imagining it or hoping, is amethyst something in the Korean culture?
Yes, okay, I didn't know this. I didn't know this until Bridgerton, but apparently amethyst is the national stone of Korea.
Aw,
Very
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
that's lovely.
Yes. So good. Yes, and we had our beautiful Korean lead as the Bridgerton lead of this love story. It was really great. And you've spoken in our previous episode, Sunny, on how that made you feel. Anything else you want to share on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this more too, and there is something about the fact that Urine Hawk could have starred in anything and I would have watched it, I think. I'm just like a fan of hers now. But it's the fact that she's specifically the romantic lead of like a romantic comedy, like she's seen as like the object of desire that I think is like what really gets me. And that last scene when she enters the Queen's Ball and like Benedict shows her off, I don't know, that really moved me. Because I feel like growing up in like mainstream media, all the Asian female characters they were always like the nerdy best friend or like,
Hmm.
like the comedic relief. Like they were never the center of attention. They were never seen as objects of desire. And I feel like Yerin Ha and Sophie, like that it was like a gift. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, so special. But I know Yaren just wrapped up doing press in South Korea, and there are a lot of fun interviews of her speaking in Korean, which is like so cool to see. I've been like sending them to my mom and stuff.
Oh,
Um, and I think I really was hoping we would get a scene of Sophie in hanbok, which is traditional Korean dress. And while we didn't get that this season,
Uh-huh.
Netflix Korea is apparently doing like a little special featurette with Yeon Ha in a silver hanbok. And I think that's
Oh,
coming out on YouTube sometime in the coming week. So I'm really excited for that.
oh,
that's
that's
so
really
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe how Kate Sharma's character comes back and she's got more Indian influence. Maybe because I do believe they are returning to the Bridgerton world, when we get another glimpse of Sophie and Benedict, maybe she will be wearing something like that.
I am begging.
Oh,
Netflix, please.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Sunny. I got a little bit of got some chills when you were speaking there. So it's just been
Oh,
it's been really good to have your perspective on it. Yeah,
oh my
thank you.
gosh. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about this because yeah, it's something I feel really passionately about and it's just fun to share and talk to you guys about it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that is a perfect note to end it on. We have covered Bridgerton season 4, part 1 earlier on this season, and part 2 today with you all. It has been quite the journey. We did cover a lot of ground. Thank you for sticking with us. But yeah, that wraps up our conversation. And what a love story, what a season. Thank you, Sunny and Stephanie, for diving into every swoon-worthy moment with me. To our listeners, thank you for joining us. We cannot wait to see what season 5 of Bridgerton brings. We'll be hopefully here to cover it all. And with that, I'll just say, catch you next time. Bye.